I've had anxiety and depression most of my life. The thing that really got me out of a really dark place was doing some exercise. It was never something I did in the past. I was never a sporty person. I started running and that gave me the clarity. So that's my thing. And I found out in the last couple of years, I know it's a big topic at the moment around neurodiversity. The ADHD and slight autism. I have a planned day. I have to do things in a certain way. I'm a morning person. In the afternoons, my brain goes fuzzy and I can't do anything. And that's been my experience. And I think you've had similar things with your family as well.
But absolutely. Well, we have ADHD in our family. Both my daughters have been diagnosed, properly.
We're approaching Times Talk Day, which is a major day in the mental health calendar. I'm just wondering your thoughts on having open conversations around well-being and mental health and maybe experiences you've had approaching particular subjects.
I think, yeah, open conversations are very important. And I think open conversations so if it take ADHD, it's two people with ADHD who have that conversation. And my daughter, one of my daughters, we did a podcast called ADHD Chatter, and we did it together. And I learnt so much from my daughter because it was a very candid, open conversation. And I learnt so much from her about what it's like. And most likely I've got ADHD as well, but I feel I'm too old to get it properly diagnosed, and I've managed this far. But I think it's essential that we're more open about it. But I think it can almost go too far. And, like I said, when it becomes like a social media trend, that's quite damaging.
Are there particular things you've learned with your daughter? Are there different ways that you now approach daily life, or are there kind of mitigations that you do? I know you're saying there we have to be quite careful, but I mean, I think for me, just the knowledge of my own experiences makes me able to do things in a slightly different way. And I'm just aware. I mean, for example, I was away at the weekend. I was in quite a busy atmosphere with a lot of people. In previous times, I would be not so aware of the reasons why I was feeling a particular way, feeling very anxious. But just that self-awareness, I was able to acknowledge it at that time and mitigate as much as possible. Are the kind of things that you do in your daily life?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's absolutely correct. And if you kind of understand yourself, and I think, in particular, well, actually, with once you understand your mental illness and you are self-aware, then you can create the tools and you can give yourself the opportunity to take yourself out of situations or not do something or do something in a different way. And, so like my daughters have it. They've both got it, and one of them is very vocal and very open and very knowledgeable, actually, and very eloquent about it. And my other daughter is much more private and self-contained. Hers is like a quiet ADHD. And my other daughter is like, but she knows how to deal with it, but she's taught herself. She hasn't been told. She's taught herself how to manage it.
I think just letting people know so that we don't have all these pent up kind of feelings, and we can just say, this is how I feel in a particular situation, or can we just change things around a little bit, or be in a less bright room or less noisy atmosphere. It's just simple things like that we can make changes.
And I think by talking about it as well, other people who may be questioning or wondering or feeling insecure, they feel less alone. When you hear someone else's story, you feel less alone, and then that gives you the kind of encouragement to open up about it yourself.
Yeah.
So I think it's great what you're doing.